Lewis Hamilton has never been the kind of driver to quietly accept limitations, especially not when the stakes are this high. After joining Ferrari in what many called the biggest move in Formula One's modern era, all eyes were on how the seven-time world champion would fare in red. But just a few races into the season, Hamilton has already dropped a bombshell that has shaken the Formula One paddock. It wasn't a fiery crash or an aggressive overtake that made headlines. It was a post-race revelation after the Japanese Grand Prix that exposed cracks within Ferrari's structure and raised serious questions about his future with the team. What Hamilton said wasn't just surprising, it was deeply concerning, not just for fans, but for the Ferrari garage itself, a choice. Suzuka. Hamilton finished a distant seventh, behind both Mercedes drivers and several seconds off the pace of the front runners. It was a performance far below expectations for someone of his caliber, but what made it even more shocking was what he revealed afterward. According to Hamilton, a specific part of his SF25 car has been underperforming since the very first race of the season, and this wasn't a general car issue. It was something unique to his side of the garage, something that has directly impacted his ability to compete at the highest level. The fact that it took until the Japanese Grand Prix for this to become public knowledge made the reveal even more explosive. He didn't say exactly which part was faulty, likely out of respect for internal team procedures, but his tone made it clear that the issue was serious. Not a minor glitch, not a setup problem, but a fundamental flaw that made his car slower, harder to handle, and ultimately incapable of fighting for top positions. In Hamilton's own words, "With what I had, that's the best result I could get. For a driver of his skill, experience, and ambition, that's a devastating admission. It means that no matter how hard he pushed, no matter how perfect his driving was, the car simply wasn't up to the task." This isn't just about the Japanese Grand Prix. If what Hamilton said is true, it means he's been dealing with a technical disadvantage since the very beginning of the season. Race after race, he's been putting in maximum effort with a machine that was fundamentally flawed on his side of the garage. That raises serious questions about Ferrari's internal processes. How could a problem like this go unnoticed, or, worse, unaddressed for so many weeks? And what does it say about the communication between driver and team? Adding to the complexity is the fact that Charles Leclerc, his teammate, has not reported similar problems. Leclerc finished fourth in Suzuka and has generally been faster than Hamilton in both qualifying and races throughout the season. That suggests the issue really is isolated to Hamilton's car. It also hints at possible inconsistencies in how the two cars are being prepared, managed, or updated. For Hamilton, who came to Ferrari with the hope of equal footing and a clear path to victory, this must feel like a betrayal. Some fans and experts had initially assumed that Hamilton's struggles were just a result of adjusting to a new team. After all, moving from Mercedes to Ferrari involves changes in setup philosophy, team dynamics, and even communication styles with engineers. But Hamilton's comments after Suzuka make it clear that this isn't just about adaptation. This is a mechanical or aerodynamic failure that has been holding him back. Something very specific that Ferrari must now fix immediately. And it's not just one issue that's troubling him. Hamilton also pointed out that Ferrari has been forced to run their cars with a higher ride height than they would like. This likely stems from his disqualification in Shanghai, where excessive plank wear led to a post-race penalty. Since then, Ferrari has raised the car to avoid further penalties, but that change has come at a cost. Raising the ride height reduces downforce, which is crucial for maintaining speed and stability, especially on high-speed circuits like Suzuka. The consequences have been clear: more understeer, less rear stability, and a narrower operating window, all of which make the car harder to drive at the limit. For Hamilton, these compromises have been especially punishing. While Leclerc seems to be coping slightly better, Hamilton is struggling to extract the full potential of the SF25 under these new constraints. He hinted that the underperforming component has finally been identified by the team, and there are hopes it can be resolved before the next race. But anyone familiar with Formula One knows that fixing a problem is only the first step. The solution needs to be tested, verified and implemented across different race conditions, and all of that takes time. With another Grand Prix just a week away, the clock is ticking. If Ferrari can't act quickly, Hamilton may be facing yet another weekend of frustration. The emotional weight behind Hamilton's comments cannot be ignored. He didn't come to Ferrari to struggle in the midfield. He joined with the dream of winning races, competing for titles and securing his place as one of the sport's all-time greats. But the current reality is a harsh contrast to that vision. Ferrari, by Hamilton's own admission, is the fourth fastest team on the grid. They are being outpaced not just by Red Bull, but also by Mercedes and McLaren. That's a massive problem for a team with championship aspirations. Hamilton also made it clear that Ferrari needs to deliver not just one-off fixes, but a consistent stream of meaningful upgrades throughout the season. In his view, the top teams currently have a performance advantage of 3 to 4 tenths per lap, an eternity in Formula One terms. To close that gap, Ferrari must overhaul their development strategy. Small tweaks won't be enough. They need to think big and move fast. What Hamilton has done here is not just speak out. It's issue a direct challenge. A challenge to the engineers, the strategists, and the leadership at Ferrari. He's telling them that the current path won't cut it. That changes must happen now. Not next month, not later this year, but right now, if they hope to turn this season around. And let's not forget the broader implications of Hamilton's remarks. When a driver of his stature goes public with criticism, it sends shockwaves through the paddock. It puts pressure on the team, not just from within, but also from fans, media, and even sponsors. It forces the organization to take a hard look at itself and make difficult decisions. In many ways, this was more than just a post-race interview. It was a wake-up call. If Ferrari responds the right way, this could be the turning point. Fix the specific issue with Hamilton's car. Implement upgrades that actually close the gap to the front. Restore the trust between driver and team. If all of that happens, we might still see the Lewis Hamilton everyone was waiting for. The one who battles at the front, takes the fight to Red Bull and McLaren, and writes a new chapter in Ferrari's storied history. But if they don't, if the problems persist, if the car continues to underdeliver, if Hamilton continues to feel like he's fighting with one hand tied behind his back, then this could become one of the most disappointing moves in recent Formula One memory. And that's something no one, least of all Hamilton, wants to see. This situation also highlights a deeper issue within Ferrari's structure. For years, the team has struggled with consistency, development speed, and internal communication. From failed strategies to reliability woes, Ferrari's challenges have not been limited to just one department. Hamilton's revelations suggest that those systemic issues may still be present, even after all the changes Ferrari has tried to make. Now the spotlight is firmly on Maranello. How will they respond? Will they rise to the challenge and give their star driver the tools he needs? Or will they fall short once again, leaving Hamilton to wonder if his bold career move was a mistake? As the next races approach, all eyes will be on Hamilton's performance and on Ferrari's response. Will the upgrades come in